Good afternoon, everyone. Let's get this started. Thanks for all of you for joining us. My name is Rudy Pamantuan, and I serve as Chief of Staff to our great Lieutenant Governor, Stavros Anthony. Thanks for coming. We actually moved it in, so people will probably be filtering in and out. We originally were planned outside, but we had some of our people being threatened, so we actually, for safety, we brought it in here. But it just shows how contentious this issue is, but it also shows how we are on the right side of the issue. Lieutenant Governor and I, we were at a volleyball game, the Vegas Thrill. They're the new women's professional volleyball team down in Las Vegas. A year ago, we were watching the game, and he's a big fan, big fan, and they appreciate that. And we were talking a little bit about the issue at the time that was starting to heat up nationally, protecting women's sports. And we were talking in depth about it, and he talked about what we could do to address it. There was nothing really in Nevada that was happening that was making it a top priority and a big issue here, and it was a little quiet, but he was standing firm, wanting to keep track of how it was happening and where it was going throughout the nation. Then a couple months later, we heard about the volleyball team up at UNR and some of the challenges and how there was not a lot of support for the girls and the athletes that wanted to take a step back to protect their safety. They wanted to make sure things were fair. And so the first thing when we heard about that, the Lieutenant Governor asked our office to step up and what can we do to support these girls. He immediately got on a plane, met with the girls, and as a result of it, we're here today. So I'm proud to introduce you to one of our champions in protecting women's sports, our Lieutenant Governor, Stavros Anthony.
Thank you, Rudy. Well, again, thank you for coming out to celebrate the 39th Annual National Girls and Women's Sports Day. Again, my name's Stavros Anthony. I'm honored to be your Nevada Lieutenant Governor. Today and every day, we honor the incredible achievements of women athletes across Nevada. That requires supporting the protection of fair competition and opportunities in women's sports. Across our country, males are entering women's athletic competitions, being selected for spots on women's teams, and being granted entry into their locker rooms. Nevada is no different. Countless girls in Nevada have lost awards, advancement opportunities, and recognition. In the last couple of years, girls' state titles were awarded to male athletes in track and field and in skiing. And just last year, as Rudy mentioned, the University of Nevada women's volleyball players were faced with a terrible decision to compete against a male player on San Jose University's team or forfeit the match. They joined 4 other teams very courageously in their conference and refused to compete. To put our girls in this position is unfair and it's dangerous. As a father of 2 daughters who have grown into strong, confident women, this issue has made me think about all the things my girls learned from playing sports. From the time they were young, stepping onto a court or field wasn't just about playing a game, it was about learning discipline, resilience, and teamwork. Sports gave a sense of purpose, a reason to push themselves beyond their comfort zone, and the ability to set goals and achieve them. Their experience is why I formed the Lieutenant Governor's Task Force to protect women's sports. Girls deserve a level playing field where hard work and dedication determines the outcomes, not politics or policies. I want to ensure the next generation of young girls has the same opportunities that my daughters had. So I will always stand for protecting Nevada female athletes, just as I stood on the sidelines cheering for my daughters all those years ago. I don't know if you've heard, but this afternoon, to celebrate National Girls and Women's in Sports Day, President Trump signed an executive order banning men from competing in women's sports. How about a nice round of applause? President Trump promised to safeguard the rights of female athletes, and that's exactly what he did with his executive order. His campaign promise, now delivered, has reaffirmed the nation's commitment to fairness and equity in athletics. He has ensured that female athletes can continue to pursue their dreams without compromise. As exciting as this news is, we know that federal interpretations, like what we saw during the Biden administration, make it clear that we can't rely solely on executive orders to protect women's rights. We need to ensure Nevada female athletes and their scholarship opportunities are protected, no matter the political whims of who's in office. That means enacting strong, permanent, state-level protections that guarantee fairness in women's sports for generations to come. I'm extremely proud of the task force I've assembled to ensure that Nevada girls continue to have the opportunity to play sports, win tournaments, get scholarships, and attend colleges and universities. Some of those task force members are here today. I first want to recognize the courage that Senator Buck and Assemblyman Gurr for their bills that they've introduced into this legislative session in their respective houses to protect women's sports. Please give them a nice round of applause for. With their work, we're going to try to ensure this is ingrained into our legislative process. Washoe County Commissioner Clara Andriola, is she here?
No, she's coming.
Not here yet, okay. Sparks City Councilwoman Charlene Bybee. I know Charlene is here. Where's Oh, you're right behind me. Galena High School athlete Kendall Lewis. And we have other remarkable people on the task force. The chair of the task force is Marcy Smith, a four-time Nevada State champion and NCAA and Pac-10 champion swimmer. Please give her a nice round of applause. There is a place for everyone to play sports in Nevada, but no one is entitled to something that takes something away from someone else, period. I want to thank all of you for coming out today, celebrating and honoring our female athletes. Thank you for fighting to ensure girls' sports are for girls. And with that, I would like to invite Senator Carrie Buck to say a few words. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Women have lost their right to compete in a fair, safe, and equitable environment. A right they have fought hard to secure for nearly a century, dating back to the 1928 Olympics. The sexes were separated into distinct sports categories because men have inherent advantages in speed, strength, and athleticism. Yet today, women are being denied these opportunities, recognition, and scholarships as they are forced to compete under unfair circumstances. If this trend continues, we will risk losing the very foundation of women's sports altogether. In Nevada, women's rights cannot be treated as a political hockey puck, subjected to the shifting opinions of whoever holds office and power in Washington. Women's rights to fair treatment and equal opportunities in sports must be non-negotiable. And we must cement these protections into state law. Federal interpretations like those seen during the Biden administration make it clear that Nevada cannot rely solely on new executive orders to protect women's sports. Strong state laws and policies are essential to ensure that no young woman in Nevada ever has her accomplishments taken away on the court, on the track, or in the pool by a male competitor. My legislation sends a clear message to every woman and girl in our state. You matter, and your opportunities are worth fighting for. You deserve fair competition and equal opportunities to participate and win in your own sex-protected category of sport. It's time to come together, for both parties to come together and stand up for fairness, for equality, and for the future of women's sports. Please support SB 112 this session to ensure a bright future for Nevada's female athletes. And thank you so much for being here in this fight with us. I'll turn this over to Assemblyman Gurr.
Thank you, Senator Buck and Lieutenant Governor Anthony, for putting this event together. It really warms my heart to see people this session getting involved. I ran a bill last session, nobody even talked about it. The Dems wouldn't hear it, but this session we're going forward, and I think we've got two good bills, one on each side of the House, the legislature. If we don't get one heard, hopefully we'll get the other one heard, and we'll keep working toward that goal. But I'll keep this shorter than that. We're here today to say that we can protect women's sports and ensure that everyone has a place in school sports, but we can't do it while sacrificing our daughters, granddaughters, and great-granddaughters' rights. Sorry. While Senators Buck's bill and my bill that I ran last session, I already told you that. We're hopeful that one side or the other will get it at least heard. Please tell all your friends, families, and your legislators to hear the bill, because that's what we need to do. If we get the bill heard, we can get it passed. And these girls have done remarkable to do what they've done, and I really appreciate them. And now I'd like to introduce Ava Chavez, a middle school volleyball player.
Hi, my name is Ava Chavez. I am in seventh grade and I go to St. Albert the Great Catholic School. I've been playing volleyball for 6 years now. Volleyball is my passion, and there's nothing else I want to do besides this sport. Being a volleyball player means that I have to work hard for my spot, on the team. That I always have to be grateful, even if I'm a starter or a bench warmer. I have a dream to be a D1 player at the University of Georgia or the University of Hawaii. Last fall, I had to compete against a boy multiple times. The only thing I could do was think about what his next move was going to be, or could I receive what play he was going to make next? Or even worse, was I going to get from his hit or his serve? This is very important to me because I play a libero, whose job is to take the most hits. Because I was playing against the boy, he took my mental focus away from the sport that I love. Watching Sia Li'ili, senior team captain of Nevada volleyball, having to go through her last season of volleyball and having to fight for her team's rights was sad and inspiring at the same time. Watching Sia gave me the courage to speak here today. I want to keep my sport that I love fair and safe for my teammates. Right now, we're being impacted by adults making the rules. These adults should be protecting girls like me, but they aren't. So I'm calling upon you as leaders to keep my place for me and my teammates and future girl athletes who are dreaming of becoming a D1 volleyball players. Please don't let our dreams be given to boys. Change the laws and protect our sports.
Good afternoon. My name is Kendall Lewis, and I am a student athlete attending Galena High School. I have worked very hard and put in the effort to get to where I am now in volleyball, a starter on my high school varsity team. When I first started playing volleyball 3 years ago, I never thought I would have to play against a biological male, considering when I signed up to play girls volleyball, the description seemed pretty clear. 12 girls playing on a team together with no male strengths going against them that would add a risk factor beyond the norms. A few weeks later, I found out me and the 11 other girls on my team would be competing against a biological male. Experiencing this firsthand, fear had run through our bodies since we knew the obvious differences between us and males. We were scared because we know that men have an upper hand and they are naturally stronger than us. It is scientifically proven that males are stronger, the vertical is higher, and their agility is much faster. Some of the balls this male athlete hit were hard to pass due to the power behind the swings. Confusion was another feeling we all had that day. The question of why the school and school district would allow a biological male to compete against us, knowing the obvious differences, was a common thought we all shared. As a female playing in a women's sport, I should never have to worry about my safety or the safety of others on my team because a biological male is allowed to play against us. This is unacceptable for male to be in female athletics and to compete at a woman's level of sports. Athletics already come with a safety concern, and adding in the risk factor of a male competing against women increases the dangers. It's heartbreaking to see a male take away a woman's opportunity in sports, whether it's a spot on the team or a scholarship to play at a higher level. Women's sports were created to provide opportunities for fair competition among female athletes in their division. I am blessed enough to have the opportunity to stand up here before you, and I will do everything I can to fight for women's sports and making them safe for the future generations of young female athletes. It is time we step up and take a stand for what we know is right. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Melissa Beatty-Smoose. I'm the former associate head volleyball coach at San Jose State University. I am grateful that I'm here today. I'm appreciative to be able to stand up here after what an exciting day with the executive order in place. We definitely have more fight to go. So we thank Trump for that, and it's we need to still continue that fight and make laws change forever. So I'm looking forward to that. Just my story, I moved my family across the country. I've been coaching for more than 30 years at the collegiate level. I wanted to come back to the Bay to, future retirement. I'm passionate about coaching and love to impact young women to be future leaders. It's so much more than the X's and O's. It's what, your relationships with the players, how they entrust in you, how you want to instill confidence in them to go out there and be the future leaders of the world. So it was not told to me when taking the job, nor any of the players, that there was a male participating on the San Jose State volleyball team, which is just crazy to me. And then when it was brought forth, the athletic department, the university, the head coach didn't support anyone, none of the women, none of the young athletes, not myself. They stood up for the man. It didn't matter every day. I can't even describe the inside, what these young women were going through mentally, being silenced, told that their opinions don't matter, that they have to be quiet, that they will lose their scholarship, that they have no rights, they have no First Amendment rights. They told me that. They told me I need to see psychiatric help and that I need to find a new job if I disagree with this man being on the team. And that, the players there knew that I was the only safe space for them, and then they removed me. And as soon as I spoke out and said, I'm protecting them, then I was suspended, and as of Friday, I was fired. Fired for sticking up for what we all say is common sense, and protecting women and women's sports is crazy to me. So I spent all my life building my career, and now possibly never get hired again, but all worth it to protect women's sports, to protect my team. Furthermore, the team, everybody that could leave left, and I helped every one of them, and I'm so blessed that they got a better opportunity. And then the ones that are kind of in a stuck place, I continue to pray that they have those opportunities again to be in a safe space, to be able to do their craft that they've been working all their lives to do, and that, because that season is over for them. They can't get that back. And they had a lot of matches they couldn't play, but mentally the abuse that was happening inside, a lot of them couldn't even focus on their academics, and rightfully so, all the stuff that was going on. But, I just really appreciate having this opportunity, and we would need to continue the fight. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Charlene Vivey. I'm a Spark City Councilwoman, but actually today I'm speaking as a former high school and collegiate athlete. I am the face of Title IX. I graduated from high school in 1972. arrived at the University of Nevada that August to compete on the women's gymnastics team. Yes, they had a gymnastics team. A lot of people don't remember that. But competed for 4 years on the women's team, went to nationals every year, and never had a scholarship. So Title IX had passed, but no scholarships were available till my senior year. And by then there were 2, and I told the coach she needed to give it to some of my younger teammates. I met my husband at the university, and he was on a full ride for football, which is awesome. But here I had no scholarship, but at least I had an opportunity to compete. I'm the face of kind of pre-Title IX and as Title IX started, because a lot of people, especially if you're younger, you have no idea what opportunities or lack thereof there were for women in sports. Historical perspective. I competed in high school on the high school team and in a private club. And my senior year, my high school coach said, you know what, I'm going to nominate you for Super Sport of the Week, which was given through a local newspaper every week in our conference. And I said, well, they don't give that to girls. And she goes, it's about time they do. And so she nominated me. I was named the first Super Sport of the Week, female. And she nominated, and I went to the banquet, and I was the only girl there, and the guys couldn't figure out what I was doing there. And she nominated another gymnast the next year, and it broke that glass ceiling. In perspective, pre-Title IX, 1971, girls only made up 8% of all high school athletes, just a year before Title IX. By 2001, which is still 24 years ago, 41.5% of high school athletes were girls. In 1972, just as Title IX started, only 15% of college athletes were women. Today, it's 44%. So we've seen what Title IX has done in a positive direction. Today, I'm asking our Nevada legislators to pass SB 112 and the partner assembly bill of Assemblyman Gers that designates by sex athletic teams and sports sponsored by schools in Nevada is what the bill is asking to do. This will protect female athletes, their opportunities, safety, and fairness in competition. That was the intent of Title IX, that protects, quote unquote, on the basis of sex. I'm here today for all the women that are competing today, those young girls and women who are competing, and most especially for my 9-year-old granddaughter who plays soccer. The future of girls' sports is on the line. We can't go backwards after all the progress we've made since Title IX almost 53 years ago. I'd like to close with a quote. "The time is always right to do what is right." Martin Luther King. Asking the Nevada legislature and with all of your help, please do the right thing. Thank you.
Wow, what a happy day today. Can we give a round of applause to that executive order from President Trump today? And happy National Girls and Women in Sports Day. My name is Marcy Smith. I'm a Nevada State Pac-10 and NCAA champion swimmer, and it's an honor to be here with you today. I'd like to thank the Lieutenant Governor for bringing together such an incredible group of women. It's been an honor to be asked to chair the task force on protecting women's sports in the state of Nevada, especially as a mom of 2 young kids. My 8-year-old daughter is just starting her athletic pursuits in Southern Nevada, so this is near and dear to my heart. As the co-founder of ICONS, the Independent Council on Women's Sports, I'm proud to be a part of such a powerful network of athletes, coaches, and supporters fighting for fairness in women's sports over the last several years. This morning, ICONS announced our backing of a 3rd lawsuit filed on behalf of Penn, University of Pennsylvania female teammates of Leah Thomas, who have been deeply harmed by the NCAA, Ivy League, and Harvard University. These athletes join us and courageous women like Melissa Beatty-Smoot, Coach Melissa, like Nevada Reno volleyball players CLE Ely and Nicanora Clark, and Riley Gaines, alongside dozens more who are demanding accountability from institutions that have failed them. Just hours ago, President Trump issued a decisive executive order affirming the rights of women and girls and confirming the unlawfulness of the NCAA's transgender eligibility policy. This executive order brings the full power of the federal government against the NCAA's discriminatory policy, as well as other schools across the country, which have allowed men to compete in women's sports and harmed countless female athletes, including here in our state. We expect this decision, this action, to lead to direct intervention by the U.S. Justice Department in our lawsuits and force immediate policy changes. Good court decisions, strong federal protections, and clear state and local policy are the total package of protections girls in Nevada absolutely deserve. Over these past few difficult years, the most common question I'm asked is, how can I help? And I'm glad all of you have asked today. Today, we have a real opportunity to make an impact here in our state of Nevada. So inside, I'd like to invite everybody to come and write some brief notes to our state legislators, leaders who need to hear directly from you to guide their decisions on guide their decisions on protecting girls and women in sports. Senators Rosen and Cortez Masto have historically not stood up in defense of female athletes for their equal opportunities, but they now have a choice. They can say yes to the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act, which is coming to the US Senate floor imminently. And as Senator Buck and Assemblyman Gurr laid out, our state legislature has the chance now to add Nevada to the map of 25 and growing states who have already passed state laws ensuring girls' sports are for girls only. Let's work together to encourage them to do the right thing for our daughters, our athletes, and future generations of women. Thank you.